Good morning. I hope that this finds you well and in good spirits. Today is Sunday, March 8th here in Greensboro, North Carolina. It's a little cloudy, but a beautiful day nonetheless. I hope that you are well where you are. And we will get started as we usually do with just bringing ourselves into this present moment. As usual, I'll go into a little discussion. We'll do a card pull from the Art of Energy Healing Oracle deck set. And then I'll stop the recording and we can go into discussions for those of you who are here live on Zoom. If you would like to join us live on Zoom in the future, you can go to our private Facebook page and request entry, and that is Love Church with Sky Bradshaw. And from there, you'll get to find the link to join us live on Zoom. So let's just start by breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. And in through our nose and out through our mouth. And as we breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth, we call in anything we may need with our in-breath. Release anything that is not ours with our out-breath. Breathing gently in this manner for a few more breaths. We invite our mind, body, and energy to relax, 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 relax. Relax, 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 relax. Relax, 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 relax. And as we move into this space of complete relaxation, we open up our energies to the ancestors, loved ones, and friends to come together today to heal and guide us and lift us to the highest version of ourselves in the light of the universe, so we may hear what we need to hear, know what we need to know, connect how we need to connect, and be what we need to be for our highest and best good, and the highest and best good of all those involved. As we open up space to give and receive. All right, so today I'm just going to pull a random page from How to Relax by Thich Nhat Hanh. These little books are gems, so if you haven't seen them before, he has a whole little series that I really love. And what comes up is page 58. Happiness is a collective matter. We can learn to handle our own fear and pain. After that, we can help other people because we have direct experience with how to handle the fear and the pain. Suffering and fear are not things that we just experience by ourselves. Our fear and suffering is also the suffering of our parents, our friends, and our society. You and me, and I am you. You are me, and I am you. If something wonderful happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. If something awful happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. This answer comes from the insight of no self. With the insight of no self, you see that your suffering, your fear, is a collective suffering. With the insight of no self, you see that happiness is a collective happiness. We are not separated. Let's just sit with that for a second. We are not separated. It's a powerful message that we need right now. And I'm going to spin off for a minute into that. Today, I was going to talk about energy hygiene, and we'll get to it in a minute and relate it to that no self concept. You are me, and I am you. But let's first talk about that for a second. So, a long while back, one of the hard lessons that spirit brought to me that I had to sit with for a while was about the concept of praying for the perpetrator as much as you pray for the victim. And that can get tough. That can really feel uncomfortable because as humans, oftentimes we look at deserving. That person is deserving of my prayer. That person is not deserving of my prayer. They did not earn it. And that's tough because we don't want to feel like we're rewarding people for bad behavior. We don't want to think that someone who has done horrible things deserves any of my time or energy in that manner. But the truth that was hard for me finally to come around to and sitting with for a long time, as I said, was that if we don't pray for the perpetrator as we pray for the victim, then the perpetrator cannot change. They just get stuck in the energy of whatever created their choices and decisions to make those poor actions, those unskillful actions. And so it doesn't mean that that's condoning what they did. It doesn't mean that we are saying it's okay. But the challenge in that is if what we want is world change, if what we want is universal love, if what we want is a greater sense of humanity, everyone seeing that I am you and you are me, then that doesn't happen in low vibrations. It doesn't happen in singular energy. That doesn't happen in punishment. It doesn't happen in vengeance or shame or manipulation. So the challenge in that is recognizing how you don't lose a part of yourself in that concept of lifting everyone up into the light, but you see it as an act of service that allows for you to recognize if I pray for the victim and I pray for the perpetrator, then if both become healed, then that universal source energy becomes greater and change can be made. There's less likely to be a second victim. And not within our singular energy, not manipulating, controlling. I want you to do this, or you should learn your lesson, or I hope that they see what they did. But in a sense of just saying, I'm going to lift you up into the light. May the universe act in your highest and best good. May it take you wherever you are meant to be. May it hold you in the light. So whatever is on the path for your highest and best good, may it be revealed to you and you connect with it. And then it's between them and the universe, whatever that may be. And it may be that their karma comes and teaches them. It may be that they get an aha moment. It may be that some pure act of kindness comes in and changes their ways. We don't know, and we don't have to know. But if we can lift it up into those spaces, then energetically, just as an energy principle, then we recognize and realize that's where the change is made. If we tie them down into their ego and say, learn your lesson. I'm going to rub your nose in the mud so you learn. Then in those lower singular vibrations, they're more likely to attract and connect to their ego self. They're more likely to double down and barrel in to their old ways. So if we lift them up, then we allow them to shed away some of their own pain and suffering so they can see a different way. And like I said, it's tough. I'm not saying we should reward perpetrators. I'm not saying that the people who harm us, we should snuggle up against. I'm saying that in releasing the victim, if we release the perpetrator, then both have higher positions of ability to rise. And so that wasn't what I was planning on talking about today. I was planning on talking about energy hygiene, but you know how things go here in Love Church. If it comes forward and the message starts coming through, then we speak to that. And I hope that this helps you tune in. Now, part of this, since we'll go into just a little bit of energy hygiene, I don't want to make this the longest Love Church on earth, but part of this is recognizing how we find our center. And there's a Haitian proverb that talks about feet into boats. And so, feet into boats in this instance might possibly be, we could probably translate it a lot of different ways, but it might be like the feel good feeling of knowing that it's easy to have compassion for the victim. It's easy to see that this person needs extra love and kindness. And the other foot in the other boat might be knowing that if we lift the perpetrator, if we wrap that ego energy in, it will open that ego energy up to the possibility of connecting to that universal source energy, that transformation can happen, but not feeling like they're deserving, not feeling like I don't want to do that. I don't want to take my time to do that. That's not the person that I want to put my energy effort into. And so we have these feet in two boats. And you know what keeps you from ending up in the water when your feet are in two boats? A strong core. And so, what is our strong core? Our strong core is being in our authentic self, staying in a pace of alignment, allowing ourselves to tune into our truth, our center, our self trust. And then we know if I lift this thing that I don't like into the ethereal realm for the universe to deal with, that it's the only thing that can happen is something good because it's between them and the universe. It's no longer in my ego self. I'm not wrapping it in judgment. I'm not controlling it or saying what I think as a singular energy should happen in this case. And so when we lift it up, whether they learn a hard lesson or an easy lesson, whether they gain punishment or they gain growth, like whatever it is, like that's not mine anymore. And I can do that when I have a clean, clear funnel in my energy system. When my energy is in a clean, clear space, then there's nothing for it to attach to. There's nothing for it to latch onto. That ego's not grasping at these judgments. It's just allowing things to move through me. And that happens with energy hygiene. And that's going to be my kick this year. So get ready to hear it 100,000 times. Or more. But recognizing that when we have that strong center, then we can do the work. We can be the practitioner. We allow ourselves to live in the energy that is healthy, whole, healed, and real. And that can be done very simply. You know, we don't wake up in the morning and go, should I brush my teeth? Am I going to brush my teeth today? Do I have time? Maybe I don't have time for that. I've got to go do this work thing, so I can't brush my teeth right now. It's just something that we do. It is daily hygiene that we, put into practice, that we allow for ourselves to just connect to. We wash our hands after we use the bathroom. Like, they're just things that we do to keep our physical body in a good space. We also sometimes, some of us, have daily rhythms that help our mental health, whether it's I'm going to, take a walk at lunchtime and check out of work, or I'm going to just take some time to chill and scroll, or whatever the thing is that gives your mental hygiene a little break. Talk to a therapist. Like, there are things that we can put into place here. But what we're going to talk about today is energetic hygiene, energy hygiene. And I'm going to go over it real quick. Like I said, I don't want this to be a long love church. And you can pick one or three or five things that you can do every day. That's a no question energy hygiene. Brushing my teeth. And you could do it while you're brushing your teeth, actually, if you wanted to. So the first one can be grounding. And, if we can ground to ourselves, and that is consciously connecting ourselves to a grounded energy source. So while we use the earth as a base energy for that, we also don't want to be dependent on what earth, like if I'm grounding in the subway, is that different from grounding in the forest? And so that comes from that energy that we just did at the very beginning of this, breathing in. I call in anything I may need, breathing out. I release anything that is not mine. And so personally, and this may not work for you, you can ground however you would like, whatever feels good to you and wherever you're called. And that also may change. I ground into my heart center and connect my heart center to the core of the earth and the lift up in the ethers. And so when I breathe in, breathing in anything I may need, I call the strength of that straw, of that open universal source energy into my heart. And then as I breathe out, I'm releasing anything that is not mine, and I see those things moving out of my system. So tuning into that grounding, like recognizing, just like a plug in a wall, there's a little grounding wire that helps support that plug having healthy, clean energy going into whatever device we're plugging into it. And so that's what that grounding does. It keeps it from bursting, having huge bursts of energy, or waning and having little spurts of energy. It brings it to a healthy energy flow. And then the second thing that I would say is having a wake up practice and a good night practice. So we'll talk about two of those, and then we'll close this out with an Art of Energy card. So your wake up practice can be lots of things, depending on where you are spiritually, or where your belief system is, or how you feel about things. But for me personally, I tune into myself in that moment. I do some of the grounding breaths, and then I tune in and I just do, the 3-5s meditation, which you can also find on this YouTube. If you go down to one of the first videos, it's the 3-5 meditation, and I just check in with myself. So, my waking up protocol is like, where's my body right now? How does my body feel? Where are my thoughts? Like, where's that? Where are my emotions? How do I feel? Where's my energy? Do a quick scan of myself. Where is my intuitions? Is anything calling me? How sensitive am I? Where are the other energies of the universe? How sensitive or detached do I feel from that universal flow? And that's the first thing I do when I wake up. Usually I don't even open my eyes, because I've been doing it so many years that I feel myself coming to awakeness, and then go straight into that practice. And then my sleeping before I go to sleep each night, my sleeping energy hygiene practice is calling all my energy home, because I have a lot of energetic interactions throughout the day, and I'm doing a lot of service in a lot of different areas. And at the end of the day, I just do that breathing that we just talked about, the centering, the grounding and centering breathing. And then I just envision like any energy particles that belong to me. I just call them home to my heart center to be filtered, cleaned, and cleared, and then redispersed through my body. And any energy that I picked up throughout the day in those interactions, I envision it like going back to the space and place from which it came, going back to the place of its origin. And so as that energy comes in, it fills up those spaces and pushes out and releases those energies that are not mine. And so those are my 3 energy hygiene practices that I do every day to stay well, whole, and in tune, to be able to be of service, and also first to be whole, healed, well, and in tune with myself. So the service that I do is whole, healed, and well. So I hope that that's helpful. I hope that that spoke to you in some way, and that you received what you need, and that you can find your own way to tune into those spaces. So now we're going to work with the Art of Energy. It is an Oracle deck set that is a combination of Amy Gordon and myself created this, and you can get your deck if you don't have it already by going to the Tarot by Sky website. And I didn't mean for that to be an ad, but maybe somebody wants one. So it's Tarot by Sky, TAROTBYSKY.com. And then you can order your Art of Energy deck. I usually promote on here, but obviously somebody must need to hear that. So the cards work in a way where there are 8 chakra alignments, color-coded backs, and then each front has individual art that comes with it. And Amy Gordon does a little poem and awareness with the art. And then on the back, there's a greater awareness for the pull of the card. So this will be for the whole, the collective. And then when we turn the video off, if anyone wants their own pull, they can get one. So the card that comes up is card 32. And 32 has to do with the energy of compassion in the throat chakra. And that obviously works in with what we were starting to talk about. And the words that go with the art are: all humans are just God in drag. Dissimilarities give us a snag. Yet if we weave in some empathy and some space, grace will reveal a familiar face. Bring awareness to how similar you are to all others on the planet. Talk about spirit wanting to bring home a message. And then we go to the book, and the book has a picture of the art, and then an energy awareness, the energy of compassion in the throat chakra. Bring awareness to how similar you are to all others on the planet. One sharp tool in your compassion toolbox is finding commonality. Can you find a common energetic emotional link between you and all others? This sense of togetherness forms compassion. Energy action. Think of a person who you're struggling to find compassion towards. Write at the top of a piece of paper this person's name. Now list any commonalities that seem evident. Then tap into and write below your similarities these probable truths. Like me, this person needs and deserves love. Like me, this person needs and deserves happiness. Like me, this person needs and deserves to feel safe. Like me, this person needs and deserves to be at peace. Like me, this person has experienced suffering. Like me, this person has experienced making a mistake. Like me, this person has experienced sadness. Like me, this person has experienced judgment. Like me, this person is still learning. All right, let's just take that in. All right, thank you for joining me. I hope that you are all well and that you are at peace, that you feel blessed, and that you're whole, and that you always be your soul.